All right, hey, it's Rob, and this is one in a series of videos I've made already about this Sansui Reverberation amplifier. It's the RA-500. I picked this thing up on eBay years ago. It was probably 30 bucks or something or other. But I don't know, for some reason people just seem to be fascinated by it. I mean, obviously the display, that is pretty much the coolest thing about it. You can do these trippy graphics here. Let's see, get my arm out of the way. There you go. And you can kind of go from the defined look of these lighted up segments, and then they kind of get obscured as they're farther away. And that represents how much reverb is coming out of the box. I mean, basically, it's not much different than a reverb unit you'd find in a Fender amplifier or whatever. It's just a spring reverb tank. And I'm gonna pull it out of its case and show it to you in a minute. There's not all that much to see in there, but you know, it is kind of you know, a cool, kitschy looking device. And, you know, it comes from the era of, you know, stereo components when they became really popular and people wanted to add on things to their, you know, stereo system to give it a different sound or whatever. They would add graphic EQs, and this is one of the things that you could add. A few different companies made them. Pioneer, I think, made them. And Sansui, definitely the coolest looking one. And, you know, so it would add a little bit of depth. If you just, a little goes a long way. It's like salt, you know, you don't want to overdo it, but a little goes a long way. And if you add a little bit of reverb in, of course, a lot of the recordings were pretty dry in the 50s and the 60s. If you're thinking of, you know, the Beatles or whoever, they were pretty simple recordings. They weren't drenched in reverb or whatever. So it gave it a little bit of space, a little bit of depth. It almost made it sound like a live recording. That was kind of one of the selling points is, hey, you could put like a symphonic recording through here and it almost makes it sound like you're in the symphony hall yourself. So basically, you know, it's just a stereo input, stereo output, and a reverb tank in there. I'll show you right now what it sounds like with, I've got a little Boss drum machine here. Definitely, you know, almost as old as the unit itself. This is probably from the 70s. This is from the 80s. And we'll start with the reverb backed all the way off. And I'll flip it around so you can see the unit now. All right, so this is with the reverb effectively off. You'll see those light segments. They are in focus here as close to the front as they can. This is some sort of lenticular filter, I believe, which makes everything distorted and blurry as you move those segments physically away from this screen or lens here. Anyway, so this is what it sounds like. Let me see if I can angle this a little bit more to us. All right, so this is what it sounds like just dry. And then we'll crank up the reverb all the way. You'll see the lights get blurry. And this is, hear a little bit of hum. I mean, it's a 50-year-old unit. I think there are different ways you can restore these and change the capacitors and things to make them sound quieter. It's good enough for me. Anyway, so this is with the full reverb effect. And you can hear just the little springy boingy sound of the spring reverb. And then off again. Here's the cymbal. And here's the cymbal with reverb. Works better on something that has a short sound. And there you go. So that's the sound of the Sansui RA-500. Let's take a look and see what's inside of it. All right, so it's just like a drawer that slides out once you loosen the bolts on the bottom. And here's the circuit board and the power amp right there. That is your reverb unit. So if I crank up the reverb and tap on this, it's no different than a guitar amp. You'll hear the springs boinging away, and then we'll shut it off. And really the only other interesting thing is around the back here. If we look at this, not me, down here. Let's see if I can get a better angle. And so those are the lights there on that board. And you're simply with the knob, moving them farther away or closer to that little screen or lens in the front. You can see it's a system of springs and pulleys here, you know, pretty low tech. And amazing, you know, that the string hasn't broken, you know, in 50 years. And there you go. So just moving it back and forth, further away or closer is going to give you this kind of trippy special effect here where it gets blurry the louder the reverb is, and then there you go. So if I have it all the way off, I'm tapping, you don't get any reverb. And then as we go all the way out, of course, and then you can basically shut it off just by moving this knob here for reverberation time. Controls reverb on and off, and a recording function, which I assume is like a line out. You have different tape modes. You can send it to different tape decks. I'll show you the back too as well. And once again, that's what it looks like from the inside. And there's your backside. You can actually run some power through here. Of course, only 2-prong plugs, a fuse. This is your setup here just for in and out that I'm using right now. And then there are multiple outputs down here for tape deck. So if you wanted to record with the reverb or whatever, you could send it through here and into your tape. You know, probably back then it would be a real tape. I don't even know if they had cassette when this thing was made. But anyway, flip it around once more, and that's it. That's your Sansui Reverb Amplification Unit RA-500. All right. Thanks so much for watching.